Pre-dawn. Seattle. Federal agents stormed warehouses across the city in what would become the largest cartel bust in decades. They found something that froze everyone in place. Enough fentanyl to kill every person in Seattle and Tacoma combined. Multiple times over. This wasn't a border town. This wasn't a random drug seizure. This was a Sinaloa cartel command center operating inside one of America's most liberal cities. And what federal agents uncovered in Operation Takeback America just rewrote everything we thought we knew about cartel operations on U.S. soil. The Seattle cartel bust that happened in Operation Takeback America wasn't just big, it was surgical. 18 months of undercover work. Multiple federal agencies, 600 agents moving simultaneously across 11 locations. And when the dust settled, they had dismantled an entire cartel infrastructure that had been hiding in plain sight for years. Here are the numbers from the Seattle cartel bust that should terrify you. 19 people arrested, all directly connected to Mexico's Sinaloa cartel. 37 federal charges filed. 4,165 pounds of methamphetamine seized. 269 pounds of fentanyl. 23 firearms, some modified for automatic fire. Explosive materials found in suburban garages. And that fentanyl? Lab analysis confirmed it could produce 6.9 million lethal doses. To put that in perspective, Seattle's population is 750,000. Tacoma adds another 220,000. This was enough poison to wipe out both cities 7 times over. But the Seattle cartel bust exposed something even more dangerous than the drugs themselves. The Sinaloa cartel wasn't just smuggling product across the border anymore. They built an entire corporate infrastructure inside the United States. Legitimate trucking companies, freight forwarders, customs brokers, shell companies registered in Delaware. Cryptocurrency wallets routing money through foreign servers. This wasn't a criminal operation. It was a parallel economy. At the center of the Seattle cartel bust were 2 brothers, Rosario Abel Wayne Camaro Banuelos, 31, and Francisco Fernando Camaro Banuelos, 24. From their stronghold in Sinaloa, Mexico, they managed a pipeline that stretched from Mexican laboratories through California freight depots straight into Washington ports. They never touched the drugs. They controlled the systems that moved them. Semi-trucks carrying fertilizer also carried sealed chemical containers. Rental properties between Everett and Tacoma became storage facilities. Every step was designed to blend into legitimate commerce. The Seattle cartel bust revealed how they did it. Encrypted telegram channels, dummy accounts, foreign servers, financial transactions disguised as import-export business. By the time federal agents traced one cryptocurrency payment, another had already been cashed out. This was logistics-based infiltration. The cartel treated American highways like conveyor belts, and Washington's dense port traffic provided perfect cover. Among those arrested in the Seattle cartel bust was Isabel Barry Sapone, a 44-year-old truck driver caught moving multi-hundred-pound loads of meth and fentanyl between state lines. Jose Felix German, a 34-year-old Mexican citizen who'd been deported in 2013, had illegally re-entered to manage financial transactions. Each faces minimum 10-year sentences. Some could get life. But Operation Takeback America wasn't just about drugs. It was about bodies. Washington State recorded 3,477 overdose deaths in 2023. 76% tied directly to fentanyl. King County alone passed 1,000 deaths for the first time. Morgues operated at near capacity. First responders fielded multiple overdose calls daily, and federal lab data showed why. 5 out of 10 counterfeit pills contained more than 2 milligrams of fentanyl, enough to kill an average adult within minutes. These weren't street drugs. They were disguised as Adderall for students, oxycodone for pain relief, Xanax for anxiety. Parents found their children unresponsive in bedrooms. Students collapsed in school bathrooms. Emergency rooms faced wave after wave of overdoses. Public health data now shows fentanyl has surpassed every other cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45. it's killed more people than car accidents, suicide, and gun violence combined. That's what made the Seattle cartel bust so urgent. This wasn't just law enforcement. This was a public health emergency being fought like a war, and it triggered a political firestorm. ICE officials accused Seattle's city government of releasing known cartel-linked suspects back into the community. They pointed to multiple deported individuals who'd returned to Washington undetected. The ICE director of field operations said bluntly, "If local governments refuse to cooperate, we will redirect our assets to enforce the law ourselves. Public safety cannot be optional." The message was clear. Seattle was now a target for federal immigration enforcement. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell fired back immediately. He called it dangerous federal overreach and invoked the 10th Amendment, arguing federal agents couldn't compel local police to assist in deportations. Harrell pledged Seattle would remain a sanctuary city upholding humanity and due process even under pressure. Within days, downtown Seattle erupted. Protesters filled the streets with signs reading "Shut Down ICE" and "Sanctuary for All." A few blocks away, counter-protesters waved American flags and held photos of overdose victims demanding stricter immigration laws. The Seattle cartel bust became a symbol. To federal officials, it proved cartels had infiltrated American cities and only aggressive enforcement could stop them. To immigrant advocates, it was proof the government was using the drug crisis to justify mass deportations. To families who'd lost children to fentanyl, it was too little too late. Operation Takeback America used every federal agency available. DEA led narcotics tracing. ICE managed immigration data. FBI handled digital forensics. ATF dealt with weapons and explosives. 600 agents working in real-time coordination. Helicopters over Tacoma, drones mapping warehouses, hazmat teams deployed when they found grenade components stored beside drugs. It was the largest multi-defendant indictment in 2 decades. But 6 suspects remain on the run. The investigation is ongoing, and everyone knows the Seattle cartel bust only shut down one cell. There are others. If this story opened your eyes, hit subscribe.